In the hallowed halls of Buckingham Palace, a seismic event is unfolding. An explosive private conversation between Princess Anne and Prince Charles has leaked, promising to unveil deeply buried truths about the core of the British monarchy. This revelation threatens to upend the carefully crafted façade of royal unity and could lead to uncharted turmoil. Before we go deeper into what this really means for the royal family, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. It began with an anonymous whisper, an unheard murmur that quickly spiraled into a resounding roar across the realm. The mysterious source of the leak remains cloaked in shadows, their motives as opaque as the walls of the palace they seek to destabilize. Why now? Why expose these truths at this precise moment, leaving the world to wonder if there is more beneath the surface than meets the eye? The timing of this revelation is suspect, begging the question: was this a deliberate strike aimed at the heart of the monarchy during its most vulnerable hour? Historically, the royal family's internal dynamics have been a fortress of discretion, impervious to the prying eyes of the outside world. The intricate ballet of silence and protocol now lays in pieces, shattered overnight by words not meant for the public ear. Loyalties that stretched across regal bloodlines are tested against the steel of personal truth. Grand familial bonds now teeter on a precipice. This leak has sown seeds of dissent, invoking not just the shock of revelation, but the deep, unsettling discord that can fracture even the most unyielding of alliances. Within these ancient walls, reactions have rippled like shockwaves. Stalwarts of the royal enclave have been left breathless, their disbelief a veil barely concealing the turmoil simmering beneath the surface. The echoes of Anne's typically candid nature ring out, her forthrightness often a sharp contrast to Charles's more subdued, contemplative presence. Her unfiltered honesty, now laid bare to the world, threatens to rewrite narratives that have long been kept under lock and key. Meanwhile, Charles, the epitome of reserved dignity, finds himself thrust into the glaring spotlight, his composed exterior only hinting at the tidal wave of emotions he must now navigate. As whispers of this clandestine exchange spread beyond palace gates, a new layer of intrigue unfolds. Anne, ever the unpredictable force within the family, stands at the threshold of a potential storm, with everything to gain or lose. Her history of challenging the status quo collides with an emerging narrative, a discordant symphony where truth and loyalty wage a silent war. There's a palpable tension, a sense of the inevitable unraveling that demands urgent crisis management. As the dust begins to settle, many are asking, what exactly was said in this clandestine exchange that has everyone on edge? Deep within the heart of royal life, dissatisfaction brews like a ticking time bomb. Princess Anne's interaction with her brother, Charles, reveals an unexpected undercurrent of tension, long masked by the sheen of their royal formalities. The walls that contained their regal lives were not thick enough to mute the whispers of discontent, which now grow louder, threatening a storm that could redefine the monarchy's destiny. Their history is complex and strained, born from the weighty expectations of their roles. Anne, ever the fierce and unfaltering presence in public duties, finds herself at odds with Charles's more contemplative approach to their shared responsibilities. The paths they have chosen, carved from the same genesis, diverge sharply in their views on what it truly means to serve the crown. Charles, with his dreamy vision for a modern monarchy, often clashes with Anne's steadfast loyalty to tradition and duty. Their interactions, cordial on the surface, are tinged with an unspoken discord, a schism that threatens to widen as each day passes. Behind the castle's towering facades lies another shadow, Anne's silent sentiments towards Camilla. It's not mere resentment, but a complex weave of misunderstanding and unvoiced objections resonating from years of navigating familial obligations. To Anne, Camilla represents a shift in the royal tide, a tide Anne fears might wash away the steadfastness that binds their legacy. Yet no words are spoken, only lingering glances that speak volumes of the unuttered hesitations within her heart. As Anne grapples with the weight of their family's enduring legacy, she is mindful of the invisible burden it places upon her shoulders. It is a legacy of power, yes, but also of unrelenting scrutiny and sacrifice, a bitter cocktail of triumph and desolation that few outside their circle can fathom. Charles, the ever-vulnerable heir, balances precariously between his duty to the crown and his personal journey, a journey that seems perpetually shadowed by his sister's unwavering dedication and conviction. This vulnerability, hidden beneath his princely decorum, reveals cracks in the royal façade, an unguarded humanity that Anne simultaneously scorns and yearns to protect. Their differing views on their roles sow seeds of dissonance in their public obligations. A shared glance at a state function or a curt nod during a charity event carries more. The weight of 1,000 unsaid words, the public, ever poised for any nuance, senses a shift, an imperceptible tension brewing beneath the polished exterior of their regal lives. Could these private musings spill over, altering public perceptions, destabilizing what has been carefully held for generations? The potential impact looms like a spectre, its presence felt yet unseen, biding its time until their fortresses of restraint can contain no more. As we delve deeper, the friction intensifies, laying bare the complex nature of royal relationships. This latest chapter in their storied lives is not merely about individuals, but about the very essence of what it means to rule, to lead, to live beneath the weight of a crown. And as the royal tapestry unravels, thread by thread, one must wonder, when the whispers turn to roars, what will remain of the house these siblings have long held together? Standing amid the brewing tempest is Camilla, the enigmatic figure at the center of this unfolding drama. Often perceived as a polarizing presence, her role in the monarchy is under fresh scrutiny. What silent influence does Camilla wield, and how has it catalyzed this unfolding royal crisis? Within the hallowed halls where whispers become stories and secrets a currency, Camilla's role has transformed slowly yet assuredly. Once overshadowed by the grandeur of the crown, her presence is now undeniably significant. As the tides of time have worn the sharp edges of initial resistance, her once obscure place in the royal tapestry has woven itself into an undeniable fixture. It seems implausible that this figure, so often spoken of in hushed tones and furtive glances, could wield such quiet power. Yet, here lies the crux of Camilla's influence. Silent, subtle, and some might argue, inescapable. Her journey alongside Charles is storied ivy and oak, entwined through decades of public judgment and personal struggle. The scrutiny of every gesture, every words exchanged under the royal gaze, reveals layers of complexity in her relationships. With Anne, the interplay is more reserved, rooted more in respect than camaraderie. Anne, known for her no-nonsense demeanor, shares an unspoken understanding with Camilla. The nuances of these relationships become striking when one considers Camilla's emergence from vilified newcomer to integral member of this tightly bound lineage. It is here that the emotional tug-of-war unfurls, her private self often eclipsed by the monarchy's unrelenting spotlight. There lingers a hidden narrative of vulnerability and strength as Camilla navigates this intricate dance of duty and identity. Every eye cast upon her bears the weight of expectation, a dance as delicate as it is relentless, guiding her through corridors where history is both an ally and an adversary. The duality of her persona, public upon the regal stage, yet intimately private behind the curtains, paints a portrait of resilience, tinged with an underlying melancholy. Though her countenance often radiates composure, there are secrets hinted at through leaked whispers, suggesting a deeper labyrinth of influence than what meets the eye. Conversations, cloaked in ambiguity, unravel just enough to tantalize the imagination. What paths has Camilla quietly steered? What destinies subtly shaped by her hand, even as she remains ostensibly aloof from the spotlight? In grappling with these implications, one is left to ponder the price of such influence and the true depth of its impact. For beneath the crown's glittering facade, it is the quiet movers, the unseen shapers, who hold the real keys, of which Camilla is undoubtedly one. How does one reconcile the public scrutiny with the private resolve that drives such quiet authority? As complexities unwind, her true fili NGS remain an enigma, locked within a fortress of duty and legacy. How does Camilla really feel about being at the center of such a pivotal moment, this convergence of past and present that molds the very future of the monarchy? As the murmurings grow louder, Anne's unguarded words reveal more than was intended, setting the stage for revelations none could anticipate. In a twist befitting of Shakespearean drama, Princess Anne and Prince Charles find themselves unexpectedly aligned against a common, unseen adversary. This unlikely unity raises the stakes, propelling the royal family into an unprecedented confrontation. The intrigue begins in the hallowed halls of the palace, where whispers of a shadowy force threaten to unravel the very fabric of their sovereignty. It was not a mere coincidence, but a confluence of fate and necessity that brought Anne and Charles to this moment. Once navigating different paths, their journeys now converged, bound by a cause neither could have foreseen. The unforeseen alliance begins with Anne, ever the stalwart, whose fierce loyalty to her family's legacy compels her toward a reluctant partnership. She finds herself shoulder to shoulder with Charles, whose resolve to protect the throne is equally fervent, driven by an unexpected wellspring of inner strength. Together, they stand united against a shadowy threat, one whose presence is felt but never seen, manipulating events from afar. The invisible puppet master pulling strings in the darkness stirs them to action, igniting a fire within that promises to forge them anew. Within this newfound camaraderie lies an emotional tempest. Anne, though steely and resilient, harbors doubts that gnaw at her convictions, testing the limits of her steadfast spirit. Charles, no stranger to skepticism, confronts specters of the past as notions of loyalty and duty intertwine with a burgeoning trust. In his sister, their bond, now more complex and pronounced, becomes a poignant tapestry woven with threads of vulnerability and strength. The stakes have never been higher. The royal blood that courses through their veins demands they stand firm, for to falter would be to yield to chaos that threatens their ancestral lineage. As looming public scrutiny intensifies, so does their resolve. Flashes of cameras and ink-stained tabloids compound their burden, each headline a reminder of their every move dissected, critiqued, laid bare. The weight of public anticipation becomes a crucible, forging a stronger drive to stave off the impending doom threatening their dynasty. Under this pressure, their shared determination becomes an unbreakable vow, a pact sealed under the glare of a world watching with bated breath. Outside pressures claw like ravenous beasts at the edges of their fragile accord. The media circles with a ravenous hunger, while whispers through palace corridors speak of traditionalists, those who hold the ancient ways close to their hearts, wary of any deviation from the royal script. They are the silent judges, their desires for stability often at odds with the revolutionary tides hinted at in Anne and Charles's cautious maneuvers. Yet, the promise of survival and prosperity dances tantalizingly on the horizon, urging them forward. As shadows lengthen, the next revelation threatens to shake the very foundations of royal traditions. The dim glow of resolve flickers precariously as they brace for the emergence of a greater challenge, one that could irrevocably alter the course of history. In the twilight of secrets and unspoken fears, they stand poised on the brink of destiny, knowing full well that their next steps could either eclipse or illuminate the throne forevermore. In the shadowed corridors of the palace, where whispers glide unseen and unheeded, lie, safe a figure of unsettling familiarity, a confidant long trusted by Anne and Charles, yet burdened by the daunting weight of their clandestine exchange. This keeper of secrets is more than a mere observer. They are the silent guardian of truths, so potent they could shatter the kingdom's pristine façade with a mere breath of revelation. As evening descends, casting long shadows over the ornate halls, the confidant's heart beats a tumultuous rhythm, a discordant symphony of loyalty and deception. Here, caught between the incessant whisperings of duty and the stark imperatives of truth, they find themselves tangled in a web spun from the strands of royal intrigue. Inevitable is the consequence of knowledge, and none feel its edge sharper than this confidant. Each secret held has grown heavier, more potent, like a storm cloud threatening to break. The swirling winds of palace politics have long gnawed at the lambs, but now they converge on this figure at the center, a tempest of such magnitude that it could well redefine the very image of the monarchy itself. The truths overheard in hushed tones between Anne and Charles are no ordinary disclosures. They possess the power to upend thrones, realign allegiances, and scandalize a nation that rests all too comfortably in its adoration. The confidant's nocturnal vigils are haunted by a singular dilemma: to protect a centuries-old legacy or heed the unyielding call of conscience. In quiet moments, shielded from the pervasive reach of royal eyes, a fierce debate rages within, an internal tempest as ferocious and unrelenting as the secrets it harbors. Loyalty to the crown has long been their guiding star, a compass unwavering amid life's chaos. Yet now, that compass trembles, quivering beneath the weight of truths unspoken. A duty to protect and a moral obligation to reveal clash like swords in the night, each blow resounding with the potential to redefine fidelity itself. The strain is unyielding, a relentless tide that erodes even the most stalwart resolve. The confidant, though seasoned in the art of discretion, now succumbs to an exhausted weariness. They battle an inner war that leaves them hollow, stretched thin by burdens both seen and unseen. Sleepless nights give way to restless days as they confront the fallout of a quandary that is as personal as it is monumental. Each passing moment whispers of the dire consequences of inaction. As darkened whispers grow louder and outside voices edge perilously near the heart of this hidden dialogue. As the watchful gaze of the world inches closer to untangling the mystery, the confidant sees the silhouettes of power players shifting, aligning and plotting like shadows cast across the palace walls. A cunning scheme arises from the ether, one that beckons them toward an intricate dance that might preserve the facade or catalyze its unraveling. Each calculated move is steeped in risk, each hesitation spells disaster. The balance teeters dangerously, forced to reconcile the onerous pull of legacy against the momentous surge of a truth longing to be free. As revelations circle above, the confidant must make a fateful decision that carries profound consequences. The choice lies not just in words, but in destiny's call, one that demands the truth be weighed with the very future of the crown hanging precipitously in the balance. The collateral damage starts to become visible as the ripple effects of Anne and Charles' conversation threaten to fracture the very pillars of the monarchy. The destiny of the royal family hangs in the balance, teetering dangerously on the brink. Whispers cascade through gilded halls where secrets once locked away now burst forth, demanding attention. Shockwaves ripple across the monarchy, unsettling even the most steadfast of courtiers. Within these walls, uncertainty becomes palpable. A dark cloud shadowing every gilded corner, echoing through the silence. The conversations between Anne and Charles, once thought a personal matter, have now unfurled their reach well beyond their initial chamber, pulling apart the carefully stitched tapestry of royal unity. The members of the royal family suddenly find themselves navigating uncharted waters, each ripple causing a deeper fissure. The emotional weight of a looming public relations disaster hangs heavily in the air, drenching the palace in a tense silence. What was private turmoil has stepped into the public arena, its sharp edges threatening the facade of serenity the monarchy has long worked to preserve. Every action, every decision, is scrutinized under the watchful eyes of the public and media, eager for spectacle. Rumors begin to swirl, their ferocity amplified by the relentless amplification of social networks and tabloids, hungry for the next morsel of royal drama. The once unassailable confidence begins to falter, and the royal family feels the burden of needing to safeguard not just their reputation, but the very institution standing as the bedrock of tradition. Within, conflict brews like a violent storm as opinions fracture among royal family members. A volatile mix of fear, pride, and righteousness fuels internal negotiations, leading to spirited arguments across rooms filled with generations of portraits watching in judgment. Some push to respond boldly, rippling with conviction that the future demands change. Others cling to the comfort of tradition, their hands grasping tied threads, unwilling to concede to modern currents that threaten the lineage. The disagreements spark silently spoken tension, one that speaks volumes in looks shot across rooms and hurried whisperings behind closed doors. In this cacophony, Camilla steps silently, her role unspoken yet undeniably present, a subtle force in the unfolding drama. Adorned by perceptions and misconceptions alike, she maneuvers with calculated grace, maintaining a delicate balance between standing steady and stepping forward. Her influence, though not often vocalized, becomes an intrinsic part of this evolving script. Her presence deftly aligns with the unspoken undertones at play, quietly steering conversations away from chaos toward a semblance of cohesion, even as the tide threatens to engulf them. Meanwhile, tensions simmer further as the age-old push and pull between modernizing influences and rigid traditions carve pathways of resistance and resilience within the palace. The regal walls, imbued with centuries of history, now bear witness to unfolding debates that challenge their stability. Some within the institution see this moment as a clarion call for progress, an opportunity to reinvent and reinvigorate. Others fear the loss of identity, a dilution of the steadfast principles on which their legacy was built. Tradition and transformation stand as opposing titans, immovable and eternal, clashing with newfound fervor. It becomes clear that an impending decision looms, a decision with the potential to seal the fate of this generation's monarchy. The air fills with anticipation, knowing that what comes next will either solidify their standing or see pillars crumble. The weight of this choice becomes an anchor, pulling each royal scion into contemplation, reflection, and ultimately resolution. In the hallowed halls where ancestors once walked, this new chapter demands a reckoning, a choice that sees the future beckon with both promise and peril. As the storm threatens to spiral out of control, the palace braces for the ultimate confrontation. The moment of reckoning has arrived. As clouds of anticipation loom heavily over the palace, the world waits with bated breath to witness an unparalleled episode in British history. Behind the stone facades and gilded halls of the monarchy's seat, Anne and Charles stand on the precipice of an epoch-defining encounter. With every tick of the palace clock, they inch closer to a meeting that promises either salvation or demise, steeling themselves with a resolve born from years of shared triumphs and trials. This high-stakes dialogue, hushed and shrouded in secrecy, was carved out in the heart of the palace, a hallowed space where history is decided. Whispers echo louder than proclamations, and destiny beckons at the thresholds of courage and caution. Inside, tension is palpable, electrifying the air between Anne and Charles as they brace for their moment of truth. Emotions flare beneath polished surfaces, a storm raging behind composed facades. The weight of their lineage bears heavily, each struggling past surging unbidden into the charged present. Faces set in determination, yet eyes reflecting the tumult within. Their loyalty, their lineage, and their legacy all lie precariously in the balance. It is a moment that defines who they are and who they must become. They exchange not words but myriad unspoken promises, vows made in silence, girded by the steel of their shared heritage. Just as the fabric of resolve seems woven all too intricately to tear, Camilla strides into the maelstrom, her entrance a testament to the unexpected forces that life often brings at its most crucial junctures. Her involvement is not merely a ripple in the impending confrontation, but a catalyst for the storm, an element both unfathomable and inevitable. She stands as a sudden and necessary tether, interlacing herself into the narrative with a gravity that compounds the stakes. The room, taut with intensity, becomes a crucible into which desires and destinies are thrown together, forging out homes unknown and unstoppable. The pressure mounts as the palace's stone walls, silent witnesses to centuries of secret passages and whispered allegiances, yield reluctantly to the keen public gaze. The once solid barriers between the family's private world and public scrutiny crumble, disintegrating under the all-seeing eyes of an expectant world. As the family grapples with the implications of their own narratives, unfolding untamed, the hush falls, a pregnant pause before revelation. The clock ticks louder, each chime an unyielding reminder of the encroaching climax. An unexpected twist emerges. Clandestine recordings, ambiguous confessions captured surreptitiously, now unfurl themselves in stark relief. They spill secrets long sealed, challenging the fine emotional calculus that Anne and Charles so delicately maintained. The tapes, raw and revealing, shimmer as truths that once threatened to throw shadows over a dynasty now shine as beacons, exposing frailties and fortitudes alike. Each revelation cuts to the core, and yet it paves a path. A chance to unburden themselves from the weight of past whispers and craft a destiny anew. As their moment reaches its crescendo, the emotional surge carries the possibility of redemption, tantalizingly close yet tortuously distant. Will it be hope or ruin that ushers forth from the throned room? As silence descends like a velvet curtain, the outcome, still unknown, crackles in the charged air. In the aftermath of this pivotal moment, reflections and resolutions start to take form, coloring a new royal landscape. The palace corridors seem quieter now, the echoes of tension diffused into whispers of reflection. Yet, in this evocative stillness, the promise of transformation shines bright. For Princess Anne, Prince Charles, and Camilla, the leaks have catalyzed a profound realignment, not just within the family but across the royal institution itself. For Anne, the ordeal sparked an inner reckoning. Once known for her straightforward demeanor, she now embodies a more nuanced strength, balancing tradition with progressive ideals. Her relationship with Charles has deepened. They've discovered an unexpected ally in each other, as siblings, bridging the years with candid empathy. Together, they tread the path less traveled for royals, a path adorned with sincerity and devoid of pretense. Charles, grappling with the mantle of future kingship, finds solace in this new chapter. Despite public scrutiny, he is resolute, embracing his vision for a contemporary monarchy. The conversation, though fraught, unshackled him from lingering doubts, instilling in him a clarity that was long suppressed by expectation. In Camilla, he recognizes a partner who shares this vision. Each day, they work towards reshaping their roles, navigating the intricate dance of public service and private existence with an invigorated spirit. For Camilla, the journey has been one of resilience. Once vilified, her portrait within the royal tapestry is being gradually redrawn. Facing adversity has lent her a unique strength, enabling her to fulfill her royal duties with grace and genuine warmth. Her bond with Anne, strengthened through shared trials, becomes a testament to forgiveness and unity. The monarchy, at large, faces its most significant evolution in decades. Public perception, often a fickle beast, begins to shift towards curiosity and cautious optimism. The inclusive narrative they craft resonates with a modern audience, emphasizing transparency and accountability without losing the mystique of the crown. This recalibration invites the nation to reimagine the monarchy's place, a living relic yet vibrant and relatable. Amidst this evolution, a family reconciles. Rifts mar old withered walls, but careful restoration heals and reforges their foundations. Anne, Charles, and Camilla, fortified by the ordeal and buoyed by newfound understanding, now stand united on common ground. Together, they gaze into the horizon, where duty converges with destiny. As light spills into the dawning day, life within the palace resumes its rhythm. These sons and daughters of a historic realm stand ready to shepherd the House of Windsor into an age of renewed purpose. The essence of a new era pulses through their veins, propelling them toward the promise of an uncharted trajectory, bright with potential. As the palace regains its poise, 4 poignant words resonate, leaving a legacy of hope and rebirth. A new chapter begins,